Kelly Ripa, she's a media powerhouse. Many of you will know her for her work on over more than 3 decades. She burst onto the scene as Haley Vaughn in All My Children.
Kelly Ripa has been a comforting presence in American homes for decades, greeting millions each morning with wit, warmth, and energy. But behind that radiant smile lies a story of private struggles, relentless pressure, and the constant demand to perform, no matter the cost. What does it take to appear effortlessly cheerful while carrying the weight of public scrutiny and personal sacrifice? Kelly's quiet tragedy isn't defined by one moment, but by the lasting toll of living in the spotlight without permission to falter, the hidden burden of public life. Kelly Ripa's public image is one of effortless energy and constant cheer. But behind this polished facade lies an unseen weight few truly understand. For decades, she has been expected to radiate warmth every morning, no matter what challenges she faces privately. The reality of live television is unforgiving. Exhaustion, anxiety, and disappointment must be hidden behind a smile and quick wit. This emotional labor is invisible to most viewers, yet it defines much of Kelly's experience in the spotlight. Living under constant scrutiny means every detail of Kelly's appearance, voice, and behavior is dissected and judged. Unlike scripted acting, her role demands spontaneity paired with grace, leaving little room for error or vulnerability. The pressure to maintain a relatable but idealized persona creates a gap between her private self and the public figure. This gap often widens during periods of professional uncertainty or personal upheaval, making resilience a continuous necessity rather than a temporary state. What deepens the burden is the experience of being indispensable, yet powerless. Kelly's loyalty and hard work earned her a central role in one of America's most beloved morning shows. Yet she faced moments when decisions impacting her career were made without her input. She has been both the face that audiences trust and a voice sometimes ignored behind the scenes. This tension between visibility and invisibility adds a layer of isolation to the demands she faces daily. The emotional cost intensifies under the glare of live broadcasts, where private struggles become public spectacle by default, it seems. Any subtle sign of fatigue or frustration can trigger speculation and make natural moments feel like headlines. Kelly has mastered masking her pain with humor and grace, but this skill comes with a price, constantly balancing what's real with what's safer to show. And then there's the relentless gossip, plus whatever media narrative shows up, like it has its own agenda. Those narratives reduce complex realities to simplified drama, which is not really fair. When Kelly was sidelined or absent, critics rushed to interpret those gaps as evidence of conflict or crisis, like everything has to be dramatic. That kind of public guesswork usually doesn't leave room for nuance in personal or professional challenges. Still, Kelly has to steer through it, while also keeping the trust and fondness of viewers who feel weirdly connected to her. This ongoing performance doesn't allow the usual private sorting of hardship. The show must go on, and Kelly must be ready, regardless of what it does to her inside. Over time, this non-stop loop can erode a sense of self that exists apart from audience expectations and broadcast pressure, too. What happens behind the scenes is often different, even contradictory, to the effortless persona audiences think they see, which reveals a deeper story of perseverance. Early on in her career, Kelly learned that being adaptable and personable on demand was basically survival. Every smile had a purpose beyond entertainment. It was a bridge to connection, and also a shield against vulnerability. But beneath the laughter, the anecdotes, and the polished charm, a quieter, more complicated narrative is still there, one that will become clearer as we look at her journey from modest beginnings to national stardom. Kelly's roots offer insight into the person beneath the TV persona, revealing the foundation of discipline and ambition that shaped her early years. From humble beginnings to national spotlight. Kelly Maria Ripa was born in 1970 in Stratford, New Jersey, into a working-class family far removed from the glamour of Hollywood. Her father worked as a bus driver before entering local government, while her mother was a homemaker. Raised without industry connections or inherited privilege, Kelly's early life was shaped by ambition, discipline, and a growing passion for performance. Childhood activities like ballet and piano lessons reflected her dedication and desire to excel. A key turning point came during her years at Eastern Regional High School, where a supportive drama teacher encouraged Kelly to pursue acting seriously. This early encouragement mattered greatly in an entertainment world where many talented individuals never receive a break. Success often hinges on timing, connections, and the chance for someone to recognize potential before others do. Kelly's ascent began with humble steps but a clear focus on seizing opportunity. Her first television experiences were modest roles as a dancer on local programs such as Dancin' on Air and Dance Party USA. These roles, while far from glamorous, introduced Kelly to the demands of being on camera, moving confidently, smiling authentically, and reacting quickly. These foundational lessons proved invaluable, setting her up for the more challenging roles ahead. They taught her to maintain poise even when doubt or nerves threatened to overwhelm. Kelly's breakthrough sort of happened in 1990, when she was cast as Haley Vaughn on the soap opera All My Children. That role was complex. Haley felt rebellious and emotionally volatile too, which gave Kelly a chance to show more than just that polished, cheerful kind of look. She acted through pain, anger, and vulnerability, but also this stubborn resilience. And somehow it worked. Audiences and industry folks alike seemed to lean in as they understood it. The everyday grind of daytime soaps meant memorizing mountains of dialogue, and then delivering heavy scenes with speed and that kind of exactness that almost hurts. Her decade-plus stretch on the show built a loyal fan base, and it also brought industry recognition. It was right on that set that Kelly met Mark Consuelos, who played Mateo Santos. Their on-screen chemistry turned into something real, and it ended up in marriage in 1996, plus a family of 3 kids. People took that like a little storybook romance, so it became part of how Kelly was publicly seen. Still, there were pressures, because fame doesn't really let couples be messy, privately. Even a small gesture, or an absence, can get pulled apart and reinterpreted, like everyone is watching every micro-moment, even when they shouldn't. The picture of Kelly and Mark as some Hollywood success story kind of masked the reality of the hard work they had to keep doing to maintain their marriage and careers. They were always trying to balance hectic schedules and raising kids while people watched, like all the time. So yeah, the ongoing challenges just kept showing up. Even ordinary disagreements could turn into public fodder, which meant Kelly had to keep up this steady strength, not just on camera, but also in that relentless glare from media attention. Even so, Kelly's earlier path set the stage for how she later managed to connect with audiences. Her working-class beginnings, early discipline, and the soap opera experience gave her tools for dealing with the unpredictable, chaotic parts of live television. That grounding supported her next big step, stepping into one of the most iconic morning show roles in the country. Her story wasn't finished yet. What came next would test her resilience in brand new ways. Transitioning into live television brought its own challenges, demanding a different kind of skill and emotional fortitude. Navigating live television challenges. When Kelly joined Regis Philbin as co-host of Live with Regis and Kelly in 2001, she entered a new world filled with high expectations and intense scrutiny. Regis was a television legend, and the audience was accustomed to a certain rhythm and chemistry. Kelly was replacing Kathy Lee Gifford, a beloved figure, which meant immediate comparison and pressure to prove herself. The stakes were high, and the format offered no safety net, no scripts, no second takes, and constant live reactions. Kelly succeeded by understanding the unique intimacy of daytime television. She managed to be conversational without appearing careless, energetic without seeming forced, and candid while still protecting her personal life. Sharing stories about motherhood, marriage, and everyday chaos allowed audiences to relate to her authenticity. Yet this openness required constant emotional labor. Showing up every day ready to be warm, funny, and engaging is far from easy. The live format also demanded that Kelly mask private pain and uncertainty behind a consistent, upbeat demeanor. Exhaustion or anxiety could not be aired, and maintaining chemistry with co-hosts was a daily balancing act, especially since behind-the-scenes relationships could be complicated. Over time, Kelly became more than just Regis's younger counterpart. She became essential to the show's identity, a pillar during transitions and surprises. However, professional success did not guarantee respect or security. Some of Kelly's most difficult career moments happened away from the cameras, where decisions about the show's future sometimes excluded her involvement. Becoming indispensable didn't mean she was protected from shifts in management or casting. This mismatch between public importance and behind-the-scenes influence contributed to a deeper struggle that audiences rarely saw. After Regis's departure in 2011, Kelly found herself carrying immense responsibility during an uncertain period. She navigated working with a rotating cast of guest hosts, adapting to different energies while keeping the show feeling effortless. This period tested her ability to hold together a treasured franchise in flux. Her steadiness helped the program endure, even when its future looked unclear. The arrival of Michael Strahan as a permanent co-host in 2012 brought renewed success and chemistry, seen by viewers as genuine friendship and ease. Yet, the work dynamics behind the scenes were more complex. Contracts, career moves, and management decisions sometimes caused tension. When Michael abruptly left in 2016, Kelly's exclusion from the decision deeply hurt her, highlighting her vulnerability despite years of loyalty and leadership. Kelly's response to this professional slight was careful but pointed, addressing issues of respect and communication. The public reaction varied from sympathy to criticism, underscoring how live television often turns private pain into public spectacle. Kelly had to process genuine disappointment while maintaining the show's stability, a testament to her profound professionalism and resilience. Navigating live television means constant reinvention and relentless pressure, skills Kelly has honed over decades. From dancer to soap star to indispensable morning host, she continuously proves her adaptability. Yet the demands never lessen, and the emotional toll behind the smiling facade remains a defining part of her story. Her journey reveals how the brightest stages can cast the longest shadows, shaping not only careers, but lives in profound ways. Personal life in the public eye. Kelly Ripa's marriage to Mark Consuelos has long been one of the most visible parts of her public life. The two met while working on All My Children, where their on-screen romance quickly became real. They married in 1996 and went on to raise 3 children, building what many viewers saw as a rare example of lasting love in entertainment. But maintaining a marriage in the public eye brought pressures most couples never experience. Ordinary disagreements, time apart, or even playful comments could become headlines. Kelly and Mark had to decide constantly which parts of their relationship to share and which should remain private. Over time, Kelly's family stories became an important part of her television persona. She often spoke about marriage, parenting, and raising their children, helping viewers feel connected to her beyond the studio. But that openness came with a price. Her children grew up with parts of their lives discussed before millions, while Kelly's private experiences increasingly became public material. As her children reached adulthood and finally drifted out the door, Kelly kinda had to deal with that emotional adjustment, becoming an empty nester, like it was both quiet and sort of loud at the same time. The house felt still, but it was still a huge shift, after decades where everything was centered around parenting. When she talked about those feelings out loud, she made herself more relatable to other parents, while also opening up a very personal chapter to the kind of outside judgment people seem to enjoy. In 2023, the line between home and work started blending even more when Mark joined Liv as her permanent co-host. Their marriage stopped being just a topic Kelly could mention, and it became part of the show, day after day. That setup came with a strange kind of pressure. Most couples can tuck workplace stress away at the office and keep personal disagreements at home. Kelly and Mark, though, often had to show up together no matter what was happening in private. So every joke, every sideways look, even the tiniest awkward pause, could end up being pulled apart by viewers and entertainment media. Kelly's talent for turning uncomfortable moments into humor kept things from getting heavy. But the constant awareness of how the public sees you can wear you down. Being open builds a closeness with viewers, and it also invites this trust. Yet there's a point where revealing too much can lead to guessing and sometimes full-on sensationalism. Underneath the effortless chemistry, there's, honestly, a marriage that's been held together through years and years of talking, setting boundaries, and adapting as life keeps moving. Kelly and Mark's relationship shows that even when the bond is strong, it still needs steady work, especially when love, family, and career are happening under the same spotlight. The pressures of a public personal life can shape a career just as profoundly as the challenges of the show itself. Career turbulence and professional struggles. Kelly Ripa's career has been defined by remarkable consistency, but behind the polished image were periods of uncertainty and frustration. One major turning point came after Regis Philbin left Live in 2011. Suddenly, Kelly became the program's anchor, while a rotating lineup of guest hosts searched for the right chemistry. Stability seemed to return when Michael Strahan joined in 2012. Their partnership helped energize the show, but behind the scenes, their professional relationship became more complicated. The biggest rupture came in 2016, when Strahan was announced as leaving Live for Good Morning America. Kelly reportedly learned about the decision shortly before it became public, despite having spent years helping carry the program. Her brief absence afterward triggered intense media attention. When she returned, Kelly addressed the situation carefully, emphasizing the importance of communication, respect, and consideration in the workplace. The episode exposed a difficult reality. Being essential to a successful program did not necessarily mean influencing major decisions affecting its future. Strahan's departure created another stretch of uncertainty. Kelly again worked alongside numerous temporary co-hosts while producers searched for a permanent replacement. That process continued until Ryan Seacrest officially joined in 2017, bringing a new period of stability. The experience reinforced how unpredictable television could be. Co-hosts could leave, formats could shift, and corporate decisions could reshape careers almost overnight. Through it all, Kelly was still expected to appear relaxed, entertaining, and in control. She has also spoken about having to fight for professional respect and better treatment earlier in her career, revealing that success did not always protect her from workplace inequality. Kelly's longevity, therefore, represents more than popularity. Behind decades of effortless-looking television were negotiations, disappointments, instability, and constant adaptation. Proof that maintaining a successful public career often requires surviving battles audiences never see. The long road through career highs and lows sets the stage for one of Kelly's most challenging aspects: the unforgiving spotlight on age and appearance. The hidden cost of staying relevant. As Kelly Ripa entered her 40s and 50s, public scrutiny intensified. Every change in her appearance, her weight, hairstyle, makeup, or facial expressions became a topic of discussion. Ordinary signs of aging often sparked speculation about her health or possible cosmetic procedures, turning a natural process into a public spectacle. For female television hosts, the expectations are nearly impossible. They must remain familiar, yet appear youthful, age gracefully without looking artificial, and project confidence while being constantly judged. For Kelly, appearing on high-definition television almost every weekday means there is little escape from that pressure. The emotional toll can be kind of significant, really. Kelly has spoken openly about dealing with anxiety, especially during periods of change and uncertainty. People see her fast humor and her lively personality, but those same things can also hide the stress that comes with keeping up a public image year after year. Live television doesn't give any room for mistakes, not even a tiny one. Every comment, reaction, or awkward pause gets replayed, picked apart, and judged online within minutes. And at the same time, Kelly's personal life became tangled with her career. Stories about her marriage and her children helped audiences feel connected to her, but it also brought more scrutiny and spotlight. As her children got older and eventually moved out, she opened up about the empty nest transition, sharing something real, while also showing that private vulnerability can't be fully covered. Her partnership with her husband and co-host Mark Consuelos makes the blur even stronger. Their relationship kind of became part of the show itself, so it takes this careful balance between what's authentic and what should stay behind closed doors. Still, Kelly has stayed surprisingly consistent. By talking frankly about aging, body image, and anxiety, she's helped make room for conversations many people struggle to even start. Her continued success really does point to resilience and shows that behind a polished television persona, there are often years of sacrifice, pressure, and plain perseverance. Kelly Ripa's journey shows us the hidden burdens behind dazzling success, how strength can mask deep pain, pressure, and years of resilience. Her story reminds us that fame is rarely as effortless as it appears, and perseverance often comes with a deeply personal cost. If you found this story revealing, please like and subscribe for more thoughtful looks behind the spotlight. And before you go, watch the next video appearing on your screen. You may be surprised by what lies behind another familiar face.